Hello everyone and welcome, my name is Simon and we are the Whales of Wall Street. We're doing a quick update here on Harmony 1, that is 1 ONE, on the exchange. So before we go into the chart, please do make sure that if you have not done so already, that you like this video if you find it informative, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and click that notification bell for all the awesome notifications of our videos coming your way in the future. First of all, thank you once again for allowing us to supersede the 1,000 subscriber mark. It really is amazing and we are so grateful for your support, and we hope that you continue to enjoy, or I hope you enjoy and find the videos interesting. So let's go into this chart, guys. So a couple of observations here. I've tidied this up since the last video. I thought the last video it was a bit messy. It looked like something out of Microsoft Paint. Although having said that, there's a lot of colours in this as well still. So I think it's a bit better. But I just want to make a few observations. So from that last point of the 20th to or 21st of July, I believe, we've had, guys, a 350% there or thereabouts growth since then, which is absolutely phenomenal. That takes us to the most recent prices of the highs that we've seen in the last 4 days. I can't believe it. So actually we pinpointed something similar on our veracity chart last week before we made the assumption that if we could get another close on that mark, we would start pushing upwards, and we did indeed do that with veracity, and I do actually feel like we're on the verge of something similar with Harmony 1. So I've drawn in this little pan thing here, and the reason I put that in there is because it's trying to intake this previous resistance line. And what's quite interesting actually is the only time we've had this resistance bang on is back here on the 27th of March, before we of course on either side broke the barrier, and obviously one of them got the previous all-time high of around, I believe, 0.2233. I tried to get it as close as I could, but I couldn't. But yeah, it's very much around that 0.22, so 22 cents, 0.3 if we want to call it an easier number there. So it's really interesting that in the 4 days here, we've pretty much hit that bang on. And that's quite interesting because that has taken it over essentially what I would deem as like a psychological number of 20 cents. And if you actually look, the wicks have hit over that to try and push for the 21. But in each time, with the exception of yesterday, we have had literally two closes on pretty much 20 cents bang on. Okay, tried to do the same thing yesterday but failed, and that's when I sort of thought, actually maybe we've not got this new support level at 0.18.5, and we would go maybe stabilize here and perhaps drop down another level to try and get this support confirmed maybe again. And that's why we drew that circle, if you remember before, when we're looking at the video about this being a critical area, and particularly because we haven't really had that many tests in the past. Okay, so this circle here is still valid. I'm still leaving that in there because there is an anticipation potentially that we may fall back to this area to see if this is indeed a confirmed support level, or if we feel that Harmony 1 is now valued up higher. Now obviously I want this area, then we can start pushing up for the new all-time high. So what do I take from this? Well, it means that if we can keep within this kind of area, I would say it was maybe slightly higher than that. If we can keep some sideways traction behind in this particular purple fan area, this means that we're trying to obtain this level here, which is at 0.185. And just to be clear of which line I'm talking about, let's just quickly put that in here. So I'm talking about this particular line right here. This is one of our key support lines, so 0.184. Okay, so if we can keep within this line and this line in the next few days, I truly believe we're going to start getting stabilization to really push for that all-time high. I feel that we can push that all-time high in the next week and a half max. Like, let's see if that can happen. That's what I'm believing. I felt, as I said yesterday, that this particular day was a day where we might get a bit of profit taking, to be fair, because this is quite a significant jump in terms of percentage scaling to take profits, and two as well, that of course we had the Bitcoin day a few days back as well, and it seems to have completely obliterated pass through that. And now we've had this almost little tail here this little wave. This day obviously hasn't closed yet today, but it is looking really bullish at the moment. And if we can close above this yellow line on maybe 1, 2, 3 days consecutively, I think that is the bullish sign to say that we're pushing forwards. What other pieces of data can we take from this? Well, the other bits of data we can take is the RSI, the fact that it is slightly higher in my anticipation. Obviously, from a buying perspective, I would be slightly cautious. Like, that's not saying to not buy it, because at the end of the day, if you're long-term, short-term, whatever your strategy is, or day trading for it, everyone's strategy is different. For me personally, based on like the historic data of certainly the last couple of weeks, for me, I wouldn't be buying at this position, because I don't think the gains are going to be that significant in the short space of time. If I see a reduction where I thought I would originally here, and if you remember this purple area as well, which I've moved up slightly from one of the lower regions up to here now, this was an anticipation of a potential buy point if we do get a bear signal from Bitcoin, which, because of course anything is possible. But the other observation here is that we are in a buying momentum, and what we don't want to have too much of is an over purchased situation, because if we get that, that's when it tends to go a bit haywire and we might start getting a dip back down. But this MACD as well is also increasing in terms of the gap. So there is a bit of caution on this aspect, that if we do start flying up towards this area again, and particularly breaking that full barrier at this level here that we've marked out already here at 0.209, that's where we're going to see some big movement in terms of real pressure, because we're approaching that all-time high. Can the bulls push that line above this yellow into this red area and above, or will we get potentially bombarded with resistance to the point where it pushes back? And that's when it becomes critical, and that's why I've pulled the fan out to kind of roughly this area, because I think in this next week we're really going to see this movement, to be honest, and see where that goes. So my anticipation is that the next few days of getting stabilization over this level and pushing up that all-time high, potentially by the end of next week, if not during the week of the week after. That is where I see it. Let us know in the comments below what you think, but I truly believe that we're going to be starting to try and push that all-time high, certainly in the next 2 weeks. And let us know as well what your full price prediction is for Harmony One. We kind of penciled in around $1 for a price prediction in this year. Certainly, when I say this year, I mean in 21 to 22. Depending on if we go into next year, but I do anticipate Harmony One at least hitting that number. And in the next video we will do a proper price prediction once we know and can confirm that all-time high position. So let's see how it goes. And guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.